Hey, Halifax, Brenda K here with the monthly stats from June. The sweet Miss Frankie snoring right here beside me. So let's check this out and see what went on in the month of June here in Halifax. Move this along, and we are going to start with the active listings. So 702 active listings versus last year we had 555. So the listings definitely coming up. They're still in the seller's market. Don't think we're not leaning towards a balance for a while yet that I don't see anyways. Unit sales. So unit sales are actually down over last year. So the active listings are down like 28%. And right here you can see that the unit sales, they're down 5%. No. So the sales year to date, again, down a little bit from last year. We're only down like 43 units, but again, look at the inventory levels last year, and they did more units than we did. And of course, the higher year-to-date sales. Days on market right now is 12. You can see, look, you go back to 2020, it was 60. 2019 was 52. I remember 2015 when it was like 90. It was not good. Month supply. So if nobody listed anything else, we would have enough inventory, real estate inventory for 1.3 months to last. The average price is $540,000. But I also want to talk about the median price because that's the number repeated the most times, and that's $496,000. So we are settling down, and I'm going to talk about that too when we get to the maps. The list percent, 107. Again, there's some pricing strategies going on. We're going to talk about that when we get to the maps, but it's not as high as it was. I think the big one that really floored me this month was look at last year, 33%, and look at this, 12%. And I mean, you just couldn't sustain growth like we had. And even 12%, like in there, those kind of growth, because it's just keeping people out of the market. I mean, some people are going to be renting till they're probably, 35, 40 years old before they can buy a house. So these numbers do have to stabilize, no question. So let's check out the map here. So the unit sales, Sackville and Beaverbank with 60. So they led the way. There's been a lot of new construction out there. It's a great family neighborhood, awesome schools, awesome shopping. And then here in Fairview, you only had 5. That definitely would be an inventory issue when it's in Fairview, because that is a very sought after place also. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the average price that sold in the different areas, but I do want to reiterate when I said I was going to talk about pricing, that the percent over asking is only about 20,000 that in the past month. And the reason is a lot of agents and sellers were agreeing to put the price low and then want up here. That pricing strategy is kind of going away, and it really skews the numbers, and I know myself as an agent with a buyer, I like to know that that's a number they'll negotiate with, that's really what they want for their house. I got a counter a couple of weeks ago for $100,000. I'm like, what? Really? I don't think so. And that's why sometimes you see a house go out at $300,000, and then 7 days later it's on for $450,000. It's because that's what the sellers want. So that's the kind of pricing I enjoy. Days on market. So, and this again is really important because we are in a seller's market. A seller's market is 0 to 90 days. And what am I hearing all the time? Oh my God, what's wrong with that house? It hasn't sold. It's been 10 days. Well, there's nothing wrong with the house. Again, the market is stabilizing. It's only been the last 2 years, that these crazy numbers were happening. So my opinion is that the market is stabilizing. I do not see a crash coming. I think there's going to be more inventory come on the market, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens with interest rates that are apparently going up today by 75 basis points. So what do you think? Are we stabilizing? Are we crashing? What's going to happen to the interest rate? Are you worried about the real estate market? Please share your opinion in the comments below. I'm Brenda K. If you find value with my videos, please hit subscribe. Ding, ding. You'll get a new one every Thursday. And this is the sweet Miss Frankie. Cheers.